Hello everyone, this is Helios Raven. I tell you how to do it, even if you don't care. And I do apologize for the little hiatus that's been going on. A lot of it has to do with just a lot of crazy things going on. Right now, I'm now working for a new website called gengame.net. There, put a comment in the video description. You should guys check it out. Really awesome place, especially if you like video games. I do a little show now called Under the Rock, where I review old but still available games to play, and eventually I'll be doing some Let's Plays on that. And it's a fun show. Like, you guys should definitely give it a check out. So I've been trying, work up some video footage for that, so I have a couple of episodes up and running and I can just throw them out a little bit easier. And plus with my constantly changing work schedule, that's been a little bit hard to find time to, do everything. On top of the fact that it's been the anniversary month of me working at my current job, and I just don't like it. I kind of get a little annoyed that I'm still working this area, so I kind of just get like in this I don't want to do anything state. And I've been doing a lot of hobby work in the game to the point where I just want to play the game instead of painting stuff, so I've been doing that more often. So I do apologize with that. Like I said, so these videos may become out fewer and far between because of the Gen Game stuff. I do apologize on that, but again, you can watch my stuff on that and get a little dose of me doing something other than just Warhammer 40k stuff. And the whole Battlefleet Gothic report thing, I do apologize for. As you can see in the trailer, it's coming. The one thing is I had this whole thing planned out for it, and then at the last minute, I realized my plan wasn't going to work because it was a 6-hour game. And I don't think you guys want to watch 6 hours of games, so I'm trying to, paraphrase it as best I can and throw in as much, flair to, make up for how long it took. And so I have to sit there and watch all 6 hours of footage and figure out how I can break down each round, pace up the boring parts and stuff like that. So it's coming. Like I said, as the trailer indicates, that'll give you an idea of when, the first video will be coming out, and I'm going to try and get those videos out as soon as possible. So just bear with me a little bit longer. I do apologize. But we're going to continue painting our Harlequin. When we last left off, we painted the jacket, and we got these shoulder pads ready for the Warlock Purple. And let's see, taking a look here. Then all that's left is the mask, these little trails here, the gloves, and the sword and the guns, and the belt. And so let us get right on that. And so first and foremost, let us take care of the immediate, which is the hair and the shoulder pads, which we're going to use Warlock Purple for. And I really like this color a lot, and so we're going to take my handy-dandy trusty dry brush, i.e. my brush that is really bad and needs replacing really much so, but I don't want to replace it yet and get as much life out of it as possible. So here we go. Okay, now we got that. As you can see now, it's got this lightish purple look, which is pretty neat. And we're gonna now do these shoulder pads. Now, this brush, like it says, it's really crappy brush now, so I can't really trust it with the shoulder pads and not get any paint on the anywhere else on the model. So we're going to switch over to my nicer brush. Let's see, don't need that one. Here it is, my standard Citadel paint brush. I try to keep these guys as best condition as I can, but I always mess it up. You know, and they don't last me that long. You know, I should really practice more, better brush care, better brush practices for maintenance. One of my biggest issues is I put too much paint on the bristles, and they get to the base of the, as you can see, to the base of the brush, and I hear, from my understanding, that is very bad for them. Okay, so we got that down, and okay, we're going to let this dry, and I'm going to do some little touch-ups that I know I won't be able to do on camera perfectly, so 1 second. Okay, we're back, and we have the shadow gray mask on, so now let's paint on some ice blue. And like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. This really isn't a good color for shadow gray in my opinion, but I think we're going to get a really cool effect with it, so let's see what happens. Okay, and that's looking pretty cool. I kinda like that look a lot. And so we're gonna leave that part a little dark to represent the shading of the collar. And like I said, I don't highlight my Harlequins. I guess to give their suits that not real look and stuff. And besides, I'm going to be glossing them, so they'll get a nice little sheen look on them. So not looking bad. He's more of a darker Harlequin than I normally have. So now those clips over there, these guys here, we are going to make them. Let's see, a good color. We'll make them yellow. Yellow seems to be a nice color to put on. So then we'll give that a moment to dry, and by that I'll clean my brush. And since this should be a nice precision work, I'll use the nice brush for the dry brushing. Okay, there we go. I don't know how well you can see it there, but there's a little bit nicer highlighting on the fringes there. And so then I just have to do that hair pin and the belts and the swords. And so what we're going to do now is paint up the shiny metal bits. And honestly, I don't remember how I usually do it. So we're going to kind of guess at it. And so I'm going to think here. I think I mostly would do black over here. Okay. So I'm going to first paint things black. Okay, now that we have all those pieces painted black, we can move on to the final stages, which is getting the final touches, which is doing all the weapon colors and all that. And during off-camera, I will apologize, off-camera I painted the hair clip, which I made an orange color. I did that mainly because I don't think there was any way for me to do that on camera without screwing it up. So, forgot to paint a little bar of the blade there. I totally didn't realize I missed that part, so let's do that. There we go. There we go. And so, all that. Give that a few minutes to dry here. Alrighty. So, gonna let that dry just a little bit. Let's tilt this camera down a little bit. Give me a better viewing angle here. In 1 second. Okay, we are back. And so what we're going to start with is we're going to paint the gold on these guys. And what I do is I paint, first I take a little bit of shining gold and paint over the parts that I want to be gold. Okie dokie. And so there he is. Looking all nice. So now we're going to do the last, one of the last steps to this thing before we are finished with them. And that is the metal pieces. Those and the gem. The gems are going to be, I do the gems last. Just because it does, it's the, gems are like the final touches. They're like highlights to me, last thing to go on. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do mithril silver on these guys. Usually mithril silver should be applied as a highlight to blades, but I kind of like it as a pure color for Eldar. I don't know, I think because it's just the name of it kind of makes me think, this is what Eldar weapons would be made out of, is a mithril silverish type of color. So we'll paint those up here. Okay, and so now we're pretty much near the end of this, so we're going to do one last video for this, actually, we'll finish it all up right now, so give me 1 second. Okay, so what we're going to do for the gems is we're going to make them green, and so we're going to take a little bit of snot green for the primary color of the gems. Okay, that's all the gems on there, so now that we got that done, then we do the highlight color, the shade color, which is going to be Dark Angel Green, and normally put the shade on top instead of on the bottom. For these guys. So let's see. And okay. Then we do the highlight color, which is going to be Goblin Green. Which I'm going to put on the bottom of the gems. And this is probably the one thing I regret with my Eldar, is I decided to make them a very gem decorated army. And that was not a good idea on my part, because there's a lot of bumps on them that could be considered gems, so it was not fun. Don't get me wrong, the effect comes out beautifully, but just in general makes my day very sad. And then the final touch, which is a little dab of skull white in the corner. And there we go. These pretty much ready for the final part. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to glue them, and because, with my luck, I always cause paint to chip when I glue my guys on together, we're going to have to do some touch-ups to the model. Just get my little tap of glue in here, if I can get the glue out. Okay. Love tap. And glue them on, and we will take a brief pause to let this dry proper. Okay. Now we just add a little bit of glue to his base here. Okay. Now, normally what I do for these guys, if you have like a base that's really troublesome, is I just take a pair of pliers and and clamp on either side of the support beam base there to get him to stay on. And so there he is. He's now on a stand. Now what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to run over him and do any touch-up detail paints, so I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I did all the little tiny details that I could on him. Any of the little imperfections that come out can also be like little sparks in the hollow suit, so it's not too bad with them. So next we're going to varnish him, because I put in a little varnish. I like to represent hollow fields on individual models as a gloss varnish. I don't really do it with tanks because I don't always put the hollow fields on the tanks, but for these guys I do. Like these and the Shadow Specters, they get this little final touch look, which is the gloss finish. And there we go. Now, if you're not sure if you glossed up all of them, you can take a flashlight and try and really shine them so you can get the really nice sheen effect on him. But he's pretty much done. And the only thing left to do is to baste. And basting we'll do in another video. So, until next time, this is Helios Raven, signing off.